Hi there and welcome to a one-point perspective lesson. Now this is all about understanding the very basic perspective, and that's called the one-point perspective, also called one linear perspective or something like that. But that's not the main point that we are focusing on what it's called. One point is the thing to understand. So what that means is that we have one point where the perspective is going to. And this here is what is called the one point vanishing point, or one point perspective, one vanishing point. This here is the eye level, which is, if you are looking straight forward, that's the horizon that you are looking. That's the level where your eyes are, like from straight forward. If you now look straight forward, that's the eye level. Everything below eye level seems like you are watching kind of like the top side of objects. And if you are looking up, like if you now look forward and then you look slightly up, you feel like you are looking the bottom level of objects, or kind of like the lower plane or something like that. So that's how the eye level works. So everything below the eye level, things look smaller in a sense, and when looking up, they feel like they are bigger. And the thing about one point perspective, we only have one vanishing point, and we have transversal lines going vertical and horizontal. And you can see them here. So this is a vertical line, and a horizontal line. And that's how one point perspective works. And that's how you can draw one point perspective. Drawings just getting the corner of the cube, box, or whatever you are drawing, aligning that to the vanishing point, drawing straight horizontal and vertical lines aligned with the eye level. As you can see here, this eye level hasn't been tilted, so that's something you should also note. The vertical line is also straightforward, up and down, left and right. Okay, then we have an example drawing. This is a very quick drawing from photo, and you can see that this is kind of like a subway that we are now in. And you can see that when you have a photo, you can just draw straight lines, though you do have to take into account the lens curvature, so it might affect the photo a bit, but usually you can see and find these straight lines, and when you draw them far enough, at some point in the photo you will find the vanishing point. So the vanishing point is right there. But that also signifies and tells us the horizon level. So when you are drawing from photo, drawing something like a subway that I've now drawn, find the orthogonal lines and then find the vanishing point, and you will find the eye line. So as you can see, while we have lines going to the vanishing point, we can also draw from here, and you can see that all of these lines, more or less, they go to the vanishing point, just like that. So that's kind of like how you can draw from photo. Now you can see the final illustration. You can see that we still have, everything going to the vanishing point, and it creates this kind of like depth effect. As you can see that when things are going to the vanishing point, it feels like things are going away from us to the one point. So it creates depth. All of these are going to the one single point. And that creates like we are seeing something going further away from us. That's what Leonardo da Vinci was also saying. it's kind of like we feel the distance when this kind of effect happens. Now you can see that this drawing already is kind of like a basic one, but when we tilt the drawing a bit, you can see that even though we have one vanishing point, 1 point perspective drawing, by tilting the drawing, you actually make it so much more interesting. So instead of it being straightforward, we have now tilted the drawing a bit. And the way you can kind of like see how much it has been tilted, you can draw a straight line compared to the eye line, to the horizon line. And you can see that we have a 90-degree here. So that's the tilt that we have created. So it hasn't been tilted a lot, but it has been tilted a bit. So you can see the tilt line is here. I don't know, roughly, probably 10 degrees or 15. So that's the tilt degree that I've created for the drawing. And just by doing that, the whole drawing looks so much better, even though it's the same drawing that you saw here. If I clear the guides, you can see that while this drawing already looks pretty good, this looks better. So just tilting the eye level, you can create so much more interesting drawings. So that's all about 1 point perspective. As you can see, it's pretty basic. There's only one vanishing point and you direct all the orthogonal lines to that point, and then you create vertical lines, horizontal lines. And even with 1 point perspective, you can create interesting drawings. But doing this kind of like slight tilt, those kind of little tricks there makes the image so much better. But that's all about this lesson. Let's get to the next one.